Yeah, man. It's time. We're here. It is a podcast about wrestling. I am the underboss, your newly crowned world heavyweight champion. And this right here is the final boss. Oh, he's getting those chills. He's feeling those damn chills. I know that hurts.
That really hurts.
I know it hurts.
That really
I
hurts.
know it hurts. I don't know why he does that.
I don't know how he does that.
How the hell? This is DJ.
This is Derek.
That's the big boss behind the camera. What's up, big boss? There we go. This is the 3D Wrestling Podcast. And as you can see, we added a new member to the memorabilia. Well, 2 new members. We have Big Gold back in possession. She's been through a lot. And we're going to get her fixed up soon. And we have an official 2 Sweet! Yes, sir. It is time to talk about our favorite thing to watch sometimes. I mean, hey.
Reality TV?
Reality TV.
Yeah.
Mixed with a little sports, right? You know?
No.
Drama?
No.
No, just reality.
I was talking about Love is Blind. Did you guys see the latest episode?
Oh, God.
It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Fantastic.
Love it. Drama. It was crazy.
I mean, how do you feel, though, about Clay and AD? Like, I really...
oh, yeah.
like...
Yeah.
Nah, the big boss watches the show. I'm just here for the ride.
I'm so glad you had actual names to say because I
had
nowhere to take that joke.
Pick it up.
I had nowhere to take that joke.
Double, triple power bomb. Man, let's just get into it. Let's get into it with the game I like to call hot and cold. AEW edition. All right, let's start. Big Bank take Little Bank. FKA, formerly known as Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné. Promos the last maybe 3 weeks. This past week on Dynamite, she was ringside on commentary. Hot or cold on Mercedes Moné so far? Cold.
And I know that sounds bad because I love her. I love her with all of my heart. Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks, Mercedes Renato. I love her. I do. But she just... She's not giving me anything so far. And I know you got to start off slow. She's going to be a big star in AEW, but her promo's been a little rocky since she came in. They haven't been the best. But she's never been the best talker, granted. But it's been a little rocky with that. The ratings aren't really reflecting anything too special with her being around there either. Dynamite hasn't cracked the 100 since she... Not 100. Dynamite hasn't cracked the 1,000,000 since she's been on the roster. And I'm not feeling it yet. What about you?
Is there a place where I can, like... I'm sizzling on it? I don't know. Pause.
She's a beautiful woman.
Anyway, listen. The direction it seems like she's being put in is towards the TBS championship.
Which I appreciate, actually.
Cool. But now you're looking at Tony like, this is another one who's not competing for the women's world championship, right? It seems like you're taking her and you're trying to replace her in that Jade mode of that TBS title and kind of make it her thing. I do like the story that they're trying to continue between her and Willow. In addition to Nia Jax, I also love Willow Nightingale. So,
I love Willow Nightingale.
I just feel like I love Willow Nightingale.
We could talk about this off camera. But continue.
Yeah, so, there's that. Another one, man. We talked about, you talked about the ratings. Will Ospreay and Okada are on the roster. We've seen them week after week. These ratings are still not reaching above 850. Hot or cold on just why are people? What is it that people are not tuning into or like?
I think it's just a vibe. I feel so bad because I feel like Dynamite is at a point right now where they are pumping out consistent television, and there's nothing I have to really complain about. But I don't care. You can give me a 5-star, 6-star, 7-star, according to Dave, Will Ospreay match to open the show. I love what Swerve has been doing lately. You could throw him out in the main event. But I could just sit there and I don't care anymore. And I don't know what they could do to bring me back, but it's just not there with me.
I feel you know what is really killing it for me.
What?
I'm tired of seeing Chris Jericho. Okay, I'm
Really?
gonna look you down the barrel, and let me tell you, I'm tired of Chris Jericho. All right, this past week on Dynamite, he teams up with Hook again. Now we're getting effing Lion Hook shirts. And stupid. Stop. Get some help. Get rid of Chris Jericho. No. But
No, get rid of Chris
get
Jericho.
rid of Chris Jericho. Listen, I'm tired of seeing him. TV's cold. TV's cold.
It's cold.
I don't know why AEW in particular is so cold. Because it should be an easy, quick 2-hour watch, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's starting to drag for me.
2 hours.
Opposed to the 3 hours I watch of Raw, and I'm glued to it.
Especially this past week. But we can get to that.
All the way through. Opposed to NXT where they might be pumping out the same amount of matches that AEW is doing. Same 2 hours, but for whatever reason, NXT is such an easier watch. And maybe I've seen recently, like, you know, AEW's changing production looks, doing different things. So maybe that's going to help over time. But it's just something that AEW's cold. Television is cold. And so is attendance.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody at this point has seen the photos of Dynamite, especially this past Wednesday, and it was abysmal. It was
a quarter of the arena.
Yeah, they couldn't even fill behind the commentary. And I don't like piling on. It's an old, tired topic to talk about with AEW's attendance, but there's no way to spin it. That was bad. That was really bad.
Man. All right. Well, hot or cold on the Samoa Joe run?
Fantastic question. I'm going to say hot.
Why hot?
Because I think Joe is doing what he can on a cold product. And I won't fault him for him being, what would I even say, the byproduct of AEW's issues. I think he's doing fantastic work. Probably some of the best work of his career, similar to somebody like a Christian Cage. I think he's like just firing on all cylinders. I think he's a fantastic champion right now in wrestling, not even just AEW, but he still unfortunately falls into a place where it's hard to care because just AEW is hard to care about. I'm curious what you think, though. What do you think?
I'm like warming up in terms of challenger wise.
Out of curiosity, by warming up, do you mean that he was cold and he's getting hotter, or he was hot and he's getting colder?
I think it started off hot, and it really cooled down for me with Hook.
That was his first defense.
So yeah, here's why.
Here's
why, right? I'm a big fan of Hook, right? Obviously, I just mentioned him with
Jericho.
Right? See, I forgot his name. But that moment, I didn't feel like I've seen enough from Hook to be like, here's the title shot.
Okay.
Then you get. I like the whole Swerve Hangman thing, right? Because now you're interlooping stories, right? Cool. However, once they had that title match, to me that was the time to put it on Swerve. Which then he would have had a short reign. I think him winning the title was overshadowed. Interlooping stories, so I think that was cool. But that would have stopped his title reign at 2 months. Like I said, I think his winning the title was overshadowed by now what I deem the coldest thing in AEW. And we'll get to that in a second. So I think maybe I'll take that back. Maybe I'm warming up to it, but now it seems like another opportunity for Joe to drop the title at Dynasty on the 21st of April. I feel like that's where we're headed. Which then at this point, you're going to look back at this title reign. Probably I think it's the shortest AEW title reign. He had his title defense with Wardlow, which also to me...
Don't even get me started on that.
I don't know.
I agree. I think he should drop the title to Swerve at Dynasty. I think that could really freshen things up with AEW. I think one thing I will say amongst all the coldness of the current product is they do feel like they're in a rebuilding period right now. I feel like with the newest influx of talent that they have, like with Okada, with Ospreay, with Monet, they're building something right now. So I am still reserving judgment in a way to see where it goes. Because I do feel like even by summertime, when we're like in all-in time, we could be talking about an entirely different AEW product. By that point, we could see Swerve as champion. We could see maybe Will Ospreay finally like going after the AEW championship. MJF could be back. Adam Cole could be back.
He has some time. He has some time.
Sure. He ain't gonna be back.
Nope. I think he had a setback.
He had a setback?
Weak.
I don't... If that's true, kill the Undisputed Kingdom. Because if Adam Cole ain't coming back anytime soon, that... no. And we could go into Wardlow's and kill it.
Well, let's talk about Wardlow, man. Hot and cold. Fucking freezing.
Fucking freezing.
This is Antarctica weather. This is North Pole we're talking about.
Like fucking Sub-Zero.
This is Sub-Zero. Not the one from Mortal Kombat. He's cool.
Wardlow. Leave.
I have an issue with this Wardlow story.
I have nothing but issues with Wardlow.
He's
not him, but like how he's being treated. Go ahead.
He's back to being a lackey in somebody's pocket, which is going to lead to the same story of him turning on Adam Cole in the Undisputed Kingdom.
This makes even less sense because at least when he was MJF's lackey, they had a reason as to why.
Right.
MJF owned his contract.
Right.
Why now? Why is he taking shit from Adam Cole now?
MJF's not even there.
He's not there.
He's not even there. So, you're in this group. You get a title opportunity, cool. Year late on that. And it was wasted. I feel like that opportunity could have went to somebody else.
It could have went to somebody else.
I think you could have...
Why did they do the match? I really would love to ask Tony Khan, why did that match even happen at that time? Because the entirety of this whole Undisputed Kingdom faction...
is to get all the gold.
You blew the story like that. Now what? What do they have to do?
Kick him out. But he's not going to do that. Because now that's a 3-man group that, to me... I wouldn't worry about. The Kingdom and Roddy Strong?
That's nothing. No disrespect to the Kingdom and Roddy Strong, but that's nothing.
Right. and your leader's sitting at home trying to rehab to get back.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna be just a lot of story time with Adam Cole, baby. But that's it.
The story's getting old.
Story's getting old. Might have seen this story. I might have read this story before. I don't watch Collision, so I can't tell you.
No one watches Collision.
That's true. That's true. I can't tell you what Kyle O'Reilly's doing.
I believe on Dynamite he had a segment with Renee Paquette where this is funny. She asked him if he regretted rejecting the Undisputed Kingdom. If he was having second thoughts. I don't know why. They're losing.
Nobody's doing anything.
Yeah, Wardlow lost. What's it called? The other members of the Kingdom, they were in the tag team tournament, right? Lost.
You know what?
Why would he reconsider joining? What?
Since Roddy's gotten the title, I haven't seen a Continental. Is that it?
Is that
what it's called?
International?
International Champion?
Something
Whatever
like that.
it is. Yeah, I haven't seen that title.
Yeah. He's having a match this week on Collision, I believe, though. It's not for the championship. I think it's like an eliminator match, but he is going to be wrestling. So,
man, I don't know. AEW, some stuff to fix.
there's a lot of stuff to fix.
Kind of cold all around.
And I was afraid this was gonna happen. We've seen this story before.
Okay. They just announced a new COO, right?
Yeah.
Former WWE guy.
Yep.
The woman that worked in WWE who quit worked hand in hand with Sasha Banks.
She wrote a lot of Sasha
She's
Banks.
there. Is this product going to turn into WWE Light? Because the last few Mercedes promos, heavy WWE influence, it seems like, to me.
If we get a good product out of it, I'm not opposed to that, to be honest.
Okay. Cool.
I believe we spoke about this outside of like the podcast, just like one-on-one, that it's hard to find experienced people to contribute to a wrestling product that haven't already been in WWE.
True.
And it's hard to toe that line between just becoming WWE light, but still having those people that like worked in wrestling. Because wrestling, it's a pretty niche interest. If you want people who work on the production side, they probably have worked for WWE.
At some point.
Yeah.
I agree. All right. Well, man, AEW is cold, and maybe they can warm up, but it's Mania season. And that means that WWE is on fire right now. Every aspect.
Every aspect.
Production, fire. Match quality, fire.
Can we talk about that Ricochet and JD McDonough match? Who would have thought we're talking about JD McDonough being a part of the match of the night?
There's been a lot of talk about this match. And it's because, it's between AEW and WWE fans hate that. Just watch both products, or watch none, or just watch the one you want to watch. That's it. But a lot of people were saying how that match felt very fresh. It felt like the moves meant something.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I seen somebody from the AEW side say, well, AEW does this every week. And then somebody responded with, talking about the Canadian Destroyer spot from the wrist lock. Crazy. AEW does this every week, and that's why when you see it on their show, it doesn't matter.
Exactly. Less is more.
And the moment in WWE, genuinely, they let moments breathe, and we talk about this all the time.
All the time.
They let these moments breathe. So, instead of it being a Canadian Destroyer into a no-cell, into another Canadian Destroyer, which happens all the time.
All the time.
It was a Canadian Destroyer that felt like, you felt like, okay, that could end it. It took JD a full maybe minute and a half to get back up into what ended up being a standing
shooting
Shooting
star
star?
press, which I've never
or
seen
shooting
before.
star press in like a standing position. I don't know.
And still flattened him and ended the match. I've never seen that before.
Fire.
But it's this problem. Like a great example I can say is somebody like a Seth Rollins. When it comes to big matches, once in a blue moon, you'll see him break out a move like the Phoenix Splash.
Right.
He can do this move every night of the week if he wanted to.
Don't know about those knees, but
But in theory, hypothetically, he can do this pretty often. But he saves it for big matches. I feel like if he was in somewhere like an AEW, he'd be doing it every week, and it wouldn't feel like anything.
Matter.
It wouldn't matter.
It wouldn't matter.
Something like a Canadian Destroyer. We see it every week on AEW. We don't think about it. One random Canadian Destroyer done by Ricochet all over social media.
Just amazing. Just amazing. You know what else is hot on that night?
What?
That segment, that promo between Drew, Punk, and Seth. I mean, I don't know if they're taking the handcuffs off. I like what Triple H has deemed the Renaissance era of WWE, right? The new beginning, we are back. That promo between the three of them, even just the slight fact that like Punk's going to be involved in some way, it's just great.
It's fantastic.
It's great.
Only minor disappointment from something like that is, and I'm not sure if there's actual like legitimate medical constraints keeping him from doing so, but the fact that it doesn't seem like he's going to be the referee in the match.
Right.
That's something I would have loved to see. I think it would have been absolutely perfect. Commentary's still good. He gets to be a part of the storyline, but even that aside, probably one of the best segments that I've seen in I don't know when in WWE.
God, I don't know, man. Just the way they were firing off at each other. I like that. One, I can say Punk must be in a way better place.
Oh, most definitely. You can feel it.
Like, he might be genuinely happy that he's here. I think he feels like he's working with professionals. I'm not going to lie to you. Because the way they're talking, but what's coming out from backstage is, you know, him and Seth are actually, they're getting along. They, you know, when they're going through their segments, there's nothing happening backstage. And it's the respect that I'm going to let you say this stuff and I'm not going to get offended by it. Because he probably, once again, talked about it backstage. Hey, I want to say this. Is this okay? Stuff like that. And I think you can kind of see that, even that realness, and this goes to Seth being so authentic and for years carrying this kind of fuck CM Punk like flag, but being a professional and saying, let's go make some fucking money. Same way he did with Cody.
Yeah.
Which is why, I'm going to say this now, fire, whatever, you know, more fire, more flame. Seth is the face of WWE.
We have a segment that we call Hot Takes, and you just kind of said that outside of it.
Seth is the face of WWE.
The face of WWE.
He is 100% the prime example of doing what's best for business, and that's why Triple H set him up for that. I want you to know. Seth is the face of WWE. He's the person you want to represent WWE.
Very interesting.
More fire, more flames, right here. I don't give a... Yeah, I said it. Seth is the face of WWE.
Okay. Fair enough.
Cody may be like the face, but Seth is the face of WWE.
I think Cody is the face of WWE. I think that's who you want. That's who you want.
Maybe Cody's the heart. But I'm not going to take it back. I mean, no. Maybe Seth's the heart. But I'm not taking back what I said. Seth is the fucking face. Alright? And that's that. Damn it. Now, you said that might have been one of the best segments, though, you've seen on Raw in a minute.
But
Raw, can I
go
can I one-up it?
Yeah.
Dwayne, The Rock Johnson. I see why he's the highest paid actor. You are bringing cinema to our TVs. First of all, the surprise appearance.
Roman Reigns doesn't do surprise appearances.
The Rock I might have seen The Rock more times on TV than I've seen Roman Reigns in the last 3 months.
The Rock has been on more WWE television this year than Roman Reigns has.
Dwayne, The Rock, Johnson, sir, you are fucking killing it. You're doing it. You've somehow made me care more about a match between you and Cody
That isn't happening.
than Cody finishing his story. And, you know, for a long time, guys, where'd I put it? It was here for a long time. This is all we wanted to do. And we're so close. But when The Rock talks about your mama, Cody Rhodes.
Mama Rhodes.
Mama Rhodes. I think it's also funny the way he calls Cody boy. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, Rock. It sounds like you've experienced some racism. Whatever the case is, you guys are producing great fucking television. And that segment was some real super villain shit. It was awesome. And just your entrance alone, by the way, the entrance alone, The Rock is the definition of a star.
It's fitting of a final boss. The
Fitting
lightning
of,
strike.
God, it's aura. We talk about aura, right? And he steps into that arena. And I mean, like, I'm pretty sure you can feel the electricity.
Pun intended?
Maybe. I'm a science teacher during the day, so, like, you know, kinetic energy. I'm not going to get into that, but, buddy, that segment.
Okay. We're talking about The Rock and cinema. Him bringing cinema to WWE, to Raw. You can see why he's the highest paid actor, but let's talk about a little bit more about cinema, a little bit of cinematography going on.
Oh!
Because, see, in the foreground, we have Cody Rhodes bleeding, his blood going on The Rock's leather weight belt that says Mama Rhodes.
Yes, sir.
But what we have in the background
is
a production truck with two very distinct faces on them that The Rock is very familiar with. John Cena and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
The way it was shot, right? It looks like they're looking at what's happening. Did you even notice that? It looks like their eyes are locked in on The Rock and what's happening there.
I must ask you, was this a coincidence?
If you think of WWE as a Marvel movie, they have been laying Easter eggs for potentially more members of the Bloodline. And something Cody said maybe about a month ago. Cody told Roman, I've taken counsel. I met with a bunch of different people. He only mentioned one person, and that happened to be The Rock.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, who else did Cody take counsel from?
Okay.
Who else did Cody take counsel from? He has a close relationship with John Cena. He's a former WWE champion. I mean, I can assume he has a close relationship with Stone Cold.
Who better to combat The Rock? If The Rock's on an ego trip...
Well, think about it like this, right? If he took counsel in this scenario, Cody's Stone Cold. Roman's The Rock. Going in, you can ask Steve, what'd you do to beat The Rock? What was your mental? I would think that would be the thinking. He's putting himself in Stone Cold's shoes, Roman being The Rock. Although in actual reality, it'll probably be switched because Rock was going after those titles while Stone Cold was holding them.
It would behoove Cody Rhodes to want to step into Steve Austin's shoes or his headspace facing The Rock, because it's a funny thing about time. What would it be? Would that be 15 years ago, or would that be 25 years ago?
How apropos.
25 years ago. Crazy how time works. 25 years ago, WrestleMania 15. Where did WrestleMania 15 take place?
Emanate from? You tell me.
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The same place WrestleMania this year is taking place. And what was The Rock doing 25 years ago? Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, WrestleMania, facing Stone Cold Steve Austin, losing their first match, their first interaction at a WrestleMania.
Philly plays a huge role in it.
It goes far, far beyond 2015 Royal Rumble. It goes far beyond.
Let's start there, huh?
Philly?
Let's start there.
There's a big reason this is all happening in Philly.
Roman was crowned that night, but he is not the People's Champion.
He was not the People's Champion.
The People's Champion held his hand in that ring.
And he was rejected. A resounding rejection.
And he looked confused. Why? At the time, people didn't want Roman. They wanted Daniel Bryan. Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that happened in Philly. You can say that's Roman's villain origin story. That's where that started. That's his Ace Chemicals to the Joker. All right? Okay. That's his Venom. Maybe his Spider Bite. I don't know. All right? But that's where this villain origin story has started for Roman Reigns. And I think it's just like there's no better place for it to end.
It's, in the words of Cody Rhodes, apropos.
It's so apropos. How apropos that in Philadelphia, the place where your villain story started, my hero story will begin.
I love it.
I don't know, man. Just, I don't know. WWE's killing it.
WWE has just been killing it lately. And that's just one story.
That's one story.
That's just one story. We talked about the phenomenal segment between the three, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre. And
you got that. I think...
We didn't even really talk about what Drew McIntyre brought to the segment. Just the fantastic promo that he cut sitting in the announce table. Not even stepping into the ring until like the very end of the segment. But even there, what we have going into WrestleMania is just so insane how we have these matches that aren't even happening but are like box office attractions. CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, people are ready to see, not happening on the show.
Right.
The Rock and Cody Rhodes, not happening on the show, but people are paying to see it.
Chad Gable and Gunther.
Don't even get me started on Chad Gable.
Can we talk about... I just want to talk about how... I think this Mania card, and we're going to get into our Mania predictions next episode. We're going to dedicate a whole episode to that. But just the amount of talent WWE has and they're using it the correct way is insane. Chad Gable, I like this little role he's playing where he's kind of in Sammy's head, like, you can't do it. You can't do it. And I can tell you why you can't do it. He's on his real Master Gable shit.
I have to agree. I don't think Sammy can do it.
I don't think Sammy should do it. And I'm a fan of Sammy.
I love Sammy.
I don't know. I like what's happening with the tag titles. I'm excited about that. I thought that was a cool segment.
I love the segment that they did with LA Knight and AJ Styles showing up to the house.
Oh, God. The beeping of the horn. Yeah! Beep, beep. Yeah!
Yeah.
Oh, God. Jimmy
and Jay?
God. Can I talk? We're talking. We're talking about it. Listen. That segment between Cody and Roman.
Yeah.
Where, Roman snaps.
Yeah.
And Jimmy and fucking Solo come from behind, Don't even attack Cody, though.
Yeah.
No, and Seth, not Seth. Cody looks and, just cracks his smirk. Nods his head, and fucking Jay and Seth are coming out the crowd. Like, there's a little moment there. There's this little moment. Like, you have to catch. Where Roman stares down Jay. Right? And Roman has his hoodie on. New merch. Family above everything. And he's staring Jay down, and he fixes the hoodie. Staring Jay down. And I'm like, yo, it's the little things.
It's the little things.
It's the little things. Because if Jimmy and Jay hug it out at the end of that match, night one, Jay might fuck around. Jay might fuck around and turn. Jay might fuck around and turn on Cody.
There's so many ways this could go.
There's so many ways.
There's so many ways this could go, WrestleMania, that I really don't know. We can get into the predictions in the next episode, but there's so many ways this could go. We could see a new member of the family show up and join the bloodline, like a Jacob Fatu. We can see somebody turn. There's so many people that can turn. There's Seth Rollins. There's Jey Uso. You really don't know where this is going.
At all.
You don't know who's going to come in. John Cena, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
It's the Avengers. It's the Avengers Endgame.
Not to throw too many irons in the fire here. Damian Priest still has that Money in the Bank briefcase. There's a lot that can happen.
Money talks.
There's a lot that can
Money
happen.
talks. I don't know, man. But WWE's killing it. And that's Raw and SmackDown. But I would like to get to a segment I like to call, why is NXT the best wrestling show on TV? Alright? And we can start off with Trick and Mella. They will be headlining. They will be main eventing Stand and Deliver in Philly, which we will be at live.
Gotta be there.
We will be there live. Why is NXT the best show on the best wrestling show on television?
Because they got Booker of the Year. They got Sean Devon Michaels.
Sean Devon!
Booking the shows. We got Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes main events. I believe this is the first time two black men
are main
eventing an NXT pay-per-view, takeover or otherwise. So that's beautiful to see. We see Oba Femi.
Bro, you're getting your wish.
I'm getting it.
Big, meaty men slapping meat at Stand and Deliver.
Ooh.
Huh.
I love to see it. This is why we tune into wrestling. I don't care what wrestling company you're watching. This is why we all watch. We want to see big, meaty men slapping meat. And that's what we're going to get.
We're going to get it.
That's what we're going to get. And I pay top dollar for it.
But you wouldn't pay top dollar for it, would you?
I wouldn't pay top dollar for that.
Okay. I mean, but who's hotter than top dollar?
Not Nada.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that. Keep that. But, man, we're talking about NXT, right? We're talking about
the blackest show on sale. Oh, we didn't even say NXT Stand and Deliver is now going to be hosted by The Metaphor.
Woo!
Blackest wrestling show on television.
Listen. They say wrestling is for the... y'all can fill that out. But NXT,
We know what the N stands for.
Do we know what the N stands for?
NXT.
Sean know what the N stands for too. Listen, NXT is so fucking great, and there's signs. I might bring a sign,
I was, you know what's funny?
Yes.
I was thinking about making a sign, too.
buddy. I think we're getting a push Dijak sign because I put you on the Dijak a couple months ago.
You did.
And week after week, he just fucking is fire.
I know this isn't our hot take segment yet, but I will say I think Dijak might be the most underrated wrestler in all of WWE.
You heard it. You heard it. More fire, more flames, more fire, more flames. And if you don't believe that, that makes me sick to my stomach, fam. It's fucking... He is the most underrated wrestler in WWE, for sure. And we'll get into our predictions for Stand and Deliver.
Absolutely.
But I kind of want to see a Dijak North American title run. But Oba's really that guy. Obi Femi's really that guy.
I'm an Oba feminist, so I'm happy to see him get a long title run.
Yeah. Like, I know it's like a little crazy to think about. But you can have a dominant tag team with him and Omos. I mean, like, just running through a tag division.
Yeah, we absolutely can. Where has Omos been, by the way?
House shows.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, as long as he's still competing in house shows. Okay, that's,
I mean, even the NXT tag titles, like, I'm so interested in. If you know me, I'm a big fan of a specific tag team. And I mean, they're just too sweet. They're a bunch of good brothers. I like the inclusion of Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows in NXT. I don't know if they fully announced the tag title match yet.
No, it's next week is going to be the triple threat
It's a
tag
triple
team
threat
between Nathan Frazier and Axiom versus the Good Brothers versus who's the third team? I hate that I'm forgetting who the third team is.
LWO?
LWO, yes.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. LWO.
I think it's going to end up being a Fatal 4-Way tag team match.
Really?
For the tag titles. And the Good Brothers are going to win because of debuting Tama Tonga. First. You heard it here first. That's one of my predictions for Stand and Deliver. We're walking away with new tag champions.
Didn't even think of that.
You didn't even think about it.
I didn't even think of that.
Why would you? Also, I want to talk about presentation in NXT. Because week after week since he's debuted, Shawn Spears has just been presented as somebody I feel like who matters. And NXT does a good job of taking these guys in AEW that you might have forgot were there. And, like, I mean, I like Brian Pillman prior, right? I watched him on the indie scene. I used to watch him on MLW. He's cool to me. I don't know why. I like the Lexus King character. He's like a fucking dickhead, but...
Oh, he's just like the sleaziest guy on the roster.
Yeah,
Everybody
like, that's
hates him.
cool.
I love it.
That's cool because you don't see it.
Yeah.
I also like this intertwining story of this is Joe Gacy being a little weird and just like following people.
I like what they've been doing with Joe Gacy a lot, actually.
So good. And he's South Jersey guy, you know, Philly guy, so he just asked Ava for a match against Shawn Spears for TakeOver. So I hope that happens. I would love to see him in Philly. You know, he's a CZW guy. Mm-hmm. So, you know, that area is home to them. And just everything about it, man. The women's division is strong. Like, super strong.
I still have a feeling that I don't think Lyra Valkyria is the one that should be carrying the flag for this division. I think there's a lot of stronger names. I love what they've been doing with JC Jane and Thea Hale.
Yes.
I'm very interested to see what they do with Ariana Grace
Yes,
and Gigi
Dolan. That's cool. And I mean, like, even the main roster women are saying, like, what's happening in NXT is what they want to see on the main roster, where it's storylines that don't revolve just around the championship.
I love that. I love that there's plenty of storylines going around that it's not just surrounding the title.
So, like, the title feels important, but it's just like, I don't know, man. I really like I like what they're doing in NXT. And then I want to talk about Jasmine Nix. I think that's her name. She's with JC Jane.
Oh, okay.
Kills her entrance. Fucking kills it. It was really cool. JC Jane kind of being... Seems like she's getting Toxic Attraction vibes back together with like a new group.
Speaking of which, who would have thought with the split of JC Jane and Gigi Dolan that JC Jane was going to be the star?
Who knows?
And God bless her. She's been doing fantastic work, but who would have thought?
Not me. Not me. I do want to stay on the women, but I want to jump back to the main roster because there's a couple things happening there, right? Becky and Rhea, killing it. But on SmackDown, right, you have Bayley and Io, right, I'm excited about. Then you have this underlying, I think a storm is coming. To Friday Night SmackDown. She did officially sign to SmackDown. She was at Atlanta Hawks game, and she told some fans, tune in to Friday. There's some big ish going down. Do you think we get Naomi, Bianca, and Jade versus Damage Control, Dakota Kai, and the Kabuki Warriors?
I don't know, because it seems like that would be the natural thing that we would be building towards. But there was such an interesting segment with Tiffany Stratton walking by and antagonizing Naomi, and she's been antagonizing Bianca Belair for a while too. So does she play a part in any of this? Are they really gonna call her up and not give her anything to do for Mania? I don't know. We're closing in on WrestleMania. We're 9 days away?
Something like that.
We're barreling towards WrestleMania weekend now, so it's go time most definitely. But we can get a 3-on-3 with Damage Control. We can maybe get 2 out of the 3 facing the Kabuki Warriors for their championships, and then either Naomi or Bianca Belair, somebody on the outside, can face Stephanie Stratton in a 1-on-1 match. I don't know if this is wishful thinking on my end, but I would like to see Tiffany included in something when
100%. I agree. I think she needs to be.
Yeah.
For sure, man. So I do want to wrap up with WWE. Is there anything else you have for them this week? Anything like you said, we are barreling towards Mania, and it is time. Batting down the hatches, like we're going. We're going. We're rolling.
Becky Lynch punched the shit out of Dom on Raw.
Another fun segment.
Great segment.
And Dom, in a cool way, has a punchable face. Not like Sammy Guevara.
No,
who I want to punch for absolutely no reason.
He has an uncool punchable face.
Oh, God, no.
But we may have a very historic, legendary WrestleMania on our hands. I don't want to jinx it and say the best ever or anything hyperbolic like that, but we have a big WrestleMania on our hands.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So, there's something coming up. I believe it's April 1st. WWE is going to premiere a Bray Wyatt doc. I know we talk about it all the time in the group chat where just random days, like, we think, like, damn, I miss Bray.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this doc? I heard it's narrated by The Undertaker. Already seen, like, videos of JoJo, his wife crying and talking about him. You got Bo. I don't know, man. Like I'm a huge fan of Bray. Like I've been a fan of Bray since he debuted. Stuff in NXT, him with Luke Harper, aka Brody Lee, rest in peace. Rowan, and Braun Strowman. And he's just done like so much great work with John Cena. He did so much great work with Randy Orton, like every iteration of him. Even the stuff he did with like Matt Hardy was cool.
The Leader of Worlds.
The Leader of Worlds. He just found a way to like keep inventing himself. And for me, like, I'm a huge Bray Wyatt fan. So I wanted to ask you, do you have a favorite Bray Wyatt moment out of his career?
There's so many to choose from. You were talking about like being a Bray Wyatt fan from like the very beginning. Right. I remember it being in high school when his vignettes first started airing. I was going around telling people like, y'all don't even know who finna pull up. Right. Yeah, y'all don't know this nigga for real. Like I watch NXT. Like I know Bray Wyatt. Y'all don't know who finna pull up. Like I was excited. So I've been a huge fan of Bray Wyatt like for so long. Like he was my favorite wrestler. I don't know if I'm ready to see this doc. I'm definitely gonna watch it on day one, but it's definitely gonna be a tough watch to get through. As far as favorite moments, it may have to be that Firefly Funhouse match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I go back and watch that match.
I love going back to watch it. It's just so unlike anything you've ever seen in WWE. It's so unlike anything you've seen John Cena contribute to or be a part of that they took a terrible situation with WrestleMania being in front of no fans and just turned it into one of the most off the wall, out of the box WrestleMania moments that you could imagine. And for somebody who didn't often have the best track record at WrestleMania before or after, I love that he got to have that moment at WrestleMania and really make it his.
For sure. I want to say there's so many. So there's that. His first title win, the Elimination Chamber. That moment to me was like, Bray's done it. Like, it's so crazy to think, but like, yeah, there's that. There's this quick moment in the Undertaker and Bray match at Mania where Bray goes into the spider walk.
I know what you're talking about.
And Taker sits up. Always thought that was dope.
I to this day, I think that was the only reason the match happened. For that one little spot to happen. It was worth it. It was completely worth it.
100%. The Fiend being burned alive, I thought was cool. Him coming back at that Mania as the Fiend, although he lost the match because of Alexa Bliss. That moment and that little transition of being burned and then coming back.
That was cool.
That was cool.
That Jack in the Box entrance, I loved it.
And the whole that moment was cool because he came back and then you can hear him through the mask say yeah.
There's a tribute to
Brody. So there's that. And then finally, I mean, a moment that touched me a lot is that first promo back after being fired and came back and spoke from the heart. And it's gonna suck. It's gonna suck to have to hear that and then know that he's not here anymore. Because that was Wyndham talking. Like that wasn't Bray or like that was him. And to hear that is just gonna be sad for me. I don't know, man.
Yeah, man. Trust me, I completely understand.
I might cry.
I'm prepared to.
I might cry. I'm a huge Bray fan, so.
Yeah. Even speaking of his like return, like when he came back for like his unfortunate final run in WWE, I remember I stayed up all through Elimination Chamber,
just for
waiting for him to come back and even
just for
then,
that door. That door was.
And even then, I remember I was just rewinding it over. I must have been sitting in front of that television for a good another hour after that second half, just watching it over and over. I was so happy that he was back.
Yeah. What a great reintroduction. The whole going down the bunny hole. I like that.
No one had a mind like him in wrestling.
God, that lead up was so great. The little videos that would play, but you have to pause it so you can see the puppets and.
That the QR codes going. That it was like separate from the rest of the show. It was
so good, so good. Man, R.I.P. Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, rest in peace, Bray Wyatt. Yeah.
I'm not ready for that. But finally, right? We spoke about it many times. We are at Mania season, so no better way to bring in Mania season than letting me ask you, what is your favorite WrestleMania entrance?
That one.
This one. All right. The third member of the pod is here. Right? Hello. What's up? Too sweet? There it is. Good job. All right. Yeah.
My favorite WrestleMania entrance. It's funny because this one isn't even the most extravagant. There's been plenty of celebrities, big pomp and circumstance, big appearances, but mine on paper is a pretty generic entrance, to be honest, but the way it's shot just looks so phenomenal. It's Shawn Michaels' entrance at WrestleMania 19. His first return to WrestleMania in 4 years after his absence, and just I'm probably gonna stitch it that when he did his Shawn Michaels pose in the ring and the pyro went behind him, it just there was nothing else like it.
Can I give you mine? I'll give you mine. I have so many. I really do. Presentation is key. So I mean, I have Taker coming out. I believe that's WrestleMania 27, the one that was in Atlanta, Georgia. To the Johnny Cash song, like I think that was a cool, like separation of, like.
That's a change of pace,
right, for the character. Another one is, I think about this one a lot. John Cena. I don't know what year it was, with all the duplicate John Cena's.
25.
It was 25. Lining up down the ramp. There's like this really dope shot of him running to the ring, and as the camera's following him, and all the
passes the sea of Cena's.
The sea of Cena's is just fire. And also from that same Mania, Shawn and Taker. Shawn, I guess, descending from the heavens, and Undertaker ascending from hell.
That was a fire one.
It's just the black and white, like, man, entrances are everything. Do you have a favorite, like, live entrance? Can I tell you one I hated?
Sure. What's one you hated?
I hate, for whatever reason, I hate the Shawn Michaels live DX entrance.
At WrestleMania 14?
I hate it because the guy sounds off. Like it sounds like he's missing the beat for me. It's just automatically like, I want to turn this off. I want to hit X or start. Go to the next entrance. Yeah, that one I hate. I mean, still a cool entrance, but
yeah. Fortunately, the DX band always had a history of being bad live.
Right? Okay, I'm not.
Yeah, they were always bad live.
Okay.
It was really odd. I always had a bit of a soft spot for it, but it always kind of hit a little bit weird how Lemmy of Motorhead obviously never knew the lyrics to the game. So if you listen to him as he performed it live twice, WrestleMania 17 and WrestleMania 21. no idea what he's saying.
Never.
He's always just blurting out nonsense because you can tell he doesn't know the lyrics to the song.
It's all about the game.
And how you play it, it's all about the game, and how you can play it. Like, he's just saying shit.
Right.
And he doesn't care to learn it because he's Lemmy. He's a legendary singer in Motorhead. Nobody's going to bother him about learning this silly wrestling song. So.
Didn't he pass away too?
Yeah.
R.I.P. Lemmy.
Yes, R.I.P. Lemmy.
So, man. Any interests you think you're going to be looking forward to this year?
Easily Cody Rhodes. He better get something special. He didn't get one special last year. It was a pretty generic Cody Rhodes entrance. His entrance is always pretty grandiose, but he didn't get anything special for WrestleMania.
I mean, we're going to get the Rise.
He better get one this year.
Get the Cody Vader
That
this year. You know whose entrance I'm looking forward to?
Who?
Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Sir, that entrance I know is going to be magnificent. I think Seth is going to have a fun entrance.
I think so too. Yeah. Drew might have a funny one. He might have a little CM Punk parody, maybe go with his entrance. Who knows?
That would be fun.
That'd be fun.
I don't know. Listen, we will be back real soon, right? More fire, more flames, more hot takes. Man, this is a podcast. And this was a podcast episode. I am DJ.
I'm Derek.
This is a 3D Wrestling Podcast. And like we like to say, 2 words for you. Deuces. Peace. Guns